Class 7 students, welcome back to your English class. We will start our first online class for the third exam with chapter 8, Fire, Friend and Foe. Fire can be both a friend and an enemy, okay? So in this chapter, we will learn about fire, its uses, causes and threats. Fire is the result of a chemical reaction. There are three things which are required to make fire, and these three things are oxygen, a fuel that contains carbon and hydrogen, and some heat. Fuel exists in many forms like cooking gas, wood, coal, petrol, etc. The air naturally carries oxygen. However, oxygen and fuel cannot make fire by themselves. Heat is also required for fire to start. So the temperature at which a fuel begins to burn is called the flash point of that fuel. And in our modern age, we use fire for many purposes. We cook our food using fire, we keep our houses warm during winters, and we also use fire for producing electricity. We use fire for all such things in a controlled way, according to our needs. Okay, we can control the way we use fire depending on our needs. Thus, fire serves us as a servant. Okay, in that way we can say that fire serves as a servant to us. However, sometimes fire can become a very bad master, okay, very destructive. Every year, many disasters take place because of fire. If you remember, last year also, a very destructive fire broke out in Lunglei, right? So, fire may burn houses, factories, vast areas, forest areas, and it may kill many animals and people also. But just like three things are needed to start a fire, there are three main ways to put out a fire. There are three main ways to stop a fire. So these are removal of fuel, cutting off the oxygen supply, and bringing the temperature down. Spraying water is a very common way of extinguishing, putting out fire, right? But it is not a good way of putting out, it is not a good way of stopping an oil fire or an electric fire. Oil is lighter than water, as a result of which it floats on water. In case of an electrical fire, the person putting water can get an electric shock, which can be fatal to him, which can be deadly to him. So the best way to control an electric or oil fire is carbon dioxide extinguishers, like those extinguishers that we often see in big offices and institutions, schools and malls, etc. Okay, so in earlier times, when there were no firemen, people used to form a human chain to put out fire. They pass buckets of water from nearby ponds to the place of fire. Now there are laws about building construction which ensure that space is left between buildings to reduce the fire risk. There are fire brigades in every town, meaning firemen, men who were specially trained to put out fire with their special equipment, and these trained firemen are very capable of putting out fires. So that is what the lesson is all about, and I want you to do page 118, comprehension check 1 and 2, and working with the text 3 and 5. I want you to do this work by yourself, okay? You can refer to the text, you can read the text and do this work. And I want you also to copy word meaning and question and answer in your notebook. Okay, that is all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.